Remember is the ninth episode of Digital Circus and series finale. In it, the circus gang has to fix things up. Shenanigans ensue. Pomni is the Russian word for remember. And originally, this and episode 8 were released together in movie theaters as the last act. That's really big for not just indie animation, but for YouTube in general. So much so they even remembered Runner. Though the movie was released 2 weeks early, and despite an original scene of Zach Hadelfish telling people not to spoil, of course you can't expect people to listen. The episode opens with a recreation of the intro from the very first episode, minus Kane and Bubble, as a good reminder of just how good the animation has gotten. All the characters are in new poses, and they even remember to put Pomni in the intro. So the episode actually begins directly right after episode 8, and Jax is furious at Kinger for deleting Kane. Everyone else kind of realizes it was an accident, but Kinger has worse news because he rediscovered the fact that everyone is actually a digital copy. That's why they never needed to eat or sleep, that's why Gummy Goo was so realistic, and there's no escape.
We still have each other. We're all in this together.
Or not, because Gangle walks away crying and even Jax tears up. But Pomni goes to help Kinger to repair the circus. She still does feel bad about the situation, but Kinger assures her, very similar to episode 3, that Pomni adjusted way quicker than everyone else. So we get a montage of a very old world blues sounding song, Too Much to Get Over, as everyone comes back together to fix the circus except Jax, who finally can no longer keep up his mask about how he really feels about the situation, and he abstracts. So now we know the symbolism of the intermission cakes and bowling ball. Zooble looking very episode 1 and Gangle are of course having mixed emotions about this, with Zooble being angry and Gangle just not knowing what to feel. Pomni knows they're going to have to trap Jax somehow, because they don't really have access to the cellar because it kind of fell into the void. But Ragatha starts breaking down because she used to be friends with Jax, all before Ribbit abstracted. And after Ribbit, Jax forced Ragatha to forget about her because Jax couldn't cope.
And I guess I just didn't want to lose any more friends.
You were the first real friend I made here.
Friend?
I still consider you my closest friend.
The two hug for a while, finally ensuring to Ragatha that Pomni likes her. Now they got a deal with Jax, and using what Pomni has learned this whole series, guiding him into the bedrooms and shooting out the lights because the abstracted likes the dark. Pomni looking at abstracted Jax mirrors when Kinger found abstracted Queenie. Pomni hugs Jax and goes into a kaleidoscope until eventually entering a hallway of Jax doors. They represent how he thinks of everyone and how he would do when someone else abstracts. So going to this door, and it shows that Jax really did care about Ragatha. So when Pomni tries comforting them, Jax starts strangling her just like in Evangelion. The next door is for Zooble.
It's what Zooble would have wanted. Remember, it's not a mourning of death. It's a celebration of life.
Oh, it's like in Babylon 5, the Centauri have cheerful funerals to celebrate life and sad weddings to get all the negative emotions out of the way. Also, Gangle's wearing the plastic mask to cope with Zooble. And Jax is in the maid outfit.
I figured what better way to honor Zooble's spirit than by wearing something all gender freaky, right?
I guess. Zooble did vote for you to wear it.
I hate you.
What? Don't act like you don't like it, sweet cheek. Meet me in my room after the funeral. Don't be late.
So Jax thinks Gangle has a crush on him because of him picking on them. Or maybe Jax has a crush on Gangle. What do you, the viewers, think? Pomni's door is locked up because he really cares about her. This door is for Gangle, which is very silly. Like Zooble wanting revenge. And they're wearing Gangle's little drawing pad of a ZRG. They attack, but Jax goes full Looney Tunes and drops them down a cliff.
That's all, freaks!
Kinger's door, well, he doesn't get one because Jax never really cared much about him, so instead, Jax and his emotions are here. We got confident, cynical, and goofy Jax playing cards, And presumably Nice Jax is chained to a piano playing Daisy Bell next to his door.
We have a strict no girls allowed policy. Why are you wearing that? I'm wearing it ironically.
Oh, he definitely called him a British cigarette.
That what you really think of us?
Everything's way more fun when you play it out in extremes.
Emotional to the extreme.
That's not reality, though.
Oh boy,
Why does that
reality's
matter?
gay.
I'm starting to think you're trying to say something there, Sonny Jim.
I mean, killing off the comic relief character? What a freaking drag. Shut up!
Pomni tries the Jax door, but it's locked. But eventually chained up, Jax gives them the key. So Pomni sees the extended live-action clips from the beach episode, including Jax sleeping in an alley, which presumably was actually filmed by Gooseworks. Then Jax wakes up in the circus, meeting Kaufmo, Kinger, Ribbit, and Ragatha. Ribbit makes their first in-person appearance, played by Sky Redden. Jax first sees himself in the mirror that Pomni did, but Ribbit takes them to the cafe to relax. It's their weekly tradition with Kaufmo, so now he knows the significance of that. This is also Kaufmo's first appearance in person. Kaufmo is played by Aaron from Game Grumps, who we remember as the voice of Gobbles and Flappers from Gameoverse. But actually, this is not his first time playing Kaufmo, as fans were able to pretty quickly realize he actually played him in a merch video.
Oh, hey, Coffee.
What's up, guys?
You think that was supposed to be just a one-off thing, but they decided to bring him back? Also, Kaufmo just being kind of a chill guy may or may not be a reference to when the cast played the Digital Circus visual novel.
Hey, what's up? I'm Kaufmo.
What's up, it's Kaufmo?
So yeah, Jax, Ribbit, and Kaufmo, or Jaribbo, were the three musketeers, who hanged out all the time playing Try Not to Laugh.
I'm just mad it was you instead of me.
Well, yeah, you're not funny.
Damn it, Jax!
When we brighten up Jax's room, we can tell that he has a table with a pink for him, green for Ribbit, and yellow for Kaufmo chair.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have. We're the three best friends that anyone could have.
No worries, y'all have fun.
This clip may or may not be a reference.
You gotta watch out for her. She's gonna corrupt you.
You know, getting close with Pomni to corrupt her.
Eventually leading to Ribbit's leapfrog and disco ball room, and it turns out she was the owner of the bowling ball. Ribbit reflects on life, that her parents were fundamentalist Mormons and she cut ties, but she also kinda misses them. Jax after a while admits that he's a divorced teen, dad left, and mom started projecting that Jax wasn't man enough. He said something, but that only made it worse. Eventually, Jax just ran away from home.
This is embarrassing.
Your secret's safe with me.
Oh, so like when we brighten up the room, it looks like that because, oh.
Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep.
Kaufmo at the door, we gotta ignore the dysphoria. For a blink, we see into the hallway, and Kaufmo is not in it, so I guess he did just come back later. This is clearly in Jax's room with the carpet. So Jax tries denying all that to Ribbit, saying it was all just out of a corny Hallmark movie. Hallmark is a greeting card and Christmas ornament company that also produces comically generic, dime a dozen, terrible Christmas romantic films. So now Jax is just trying to avoid Ribbit, and hanging out with Kaufmo because he's just a cool guy.
What's up with Ribbit lately?
I have no idea.
Eventually this leads into the snow adventure. We got a little peek at the snow adventure, and Jax was upset about it in the beach episode. You can even kind of hear the audio from the scene here. Ribbit finally confronts Jax and tries talking.
Whatever I did, whatever's going on between us, can we just stop? We were great friends, and I'm
Oh
sorry
my
for
God!
crying, but I don't want this.
You're the one using me! You're manipulating me!
So after the blow up, Ribbit decides to finally just leave Jax alone. They try reaching out to Ribbit, but each time they chicken out, and eventually it just becomes too late. After Ribbit, he immediately starts disassociating. This is ultimately why Jax pushed Pomni away in the gun episode.
Is this why you didn't show up to Kaufmo's funeral?
I don't show up to any funerals.
Yeah, I bet you don't. Because you're scared.
Now we know the full context that he kinda is. Jax is scared about his gender dysphoria, which is why he pushed Ribbit away, and he's scared of losing people he cares about, which is why he pushes Pomni away.
You don't even know what people are like before they abstract. They are not pleasant to be around. Like at all.
Now we know they're looking off in the distance because they're remembering Ribbit. And disassociate. Gangle showed up right after Ribbit, and Jax was the one who picked her name. And from there, Jax became the menace we know, so much to the point where Kaufmo no longer felt they got along. Zooble will have joined around this point, and Kaufmo thinks he knows a way out. But Jax doesn't believe him, so his final words to his friend is have fun being crazy. Then we get more recreations of episode 1.
I should just play along until I wake up. Right?
Whatever you say, kid. Whatever you say, kid.
And Jack's POV of seeing abstracted Kaufmo. It turns out they really did cry over Kaufmo because they were friends. Remember from Jax's torture in episode 8, Kaufmo was the only one to not pull on his skin because Kaufmo was the only one that Jax never opened up to.
I'd move on. And probably forget about you.
Eventually, Pomni finds Jax standing next to a lamppost. Jax wants her to go away because he feels like he causes harm to people who get too close. Small montage of different clothes like Jax in a prison uniform, Jax with long hair and a hoodie, emo Jax in a hat and a coat, Jax in a swimsuit, army Jax, maid Jax, and blank Jax. But no matter how much Pomni gets pushed away, no matter how much he wants to sink deeper into the darkness, Pomni keeps reaching out.
You should have just talked to me, man.
Then Jax steps on one of Zooble's flashbangs and starts freaking out. Impossible Doctor Who reference?
I don't want to go.
Then we get a montage of Jax throughout the entire series set to the licensed song Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonders, which is insane they got the rights to that. Well, it's a cover by Jobby, but still. And it's a song about a girl being born. Pomni starts glitching out, so the rest toss a big lasso of Zooble parts to free her. Still glitchy, but safe. The rest of the team grabbing Pomni calls back to episode 2 when Pomni realized that they can trust everyone. So everyone helps put together the circus again and a big pillow fort for Jax. But everything starts hitting Gangle emotionally and she cries in her movie theater of a room. She's got a sketch deck which has the drawing of her, Zooble, and Pomni after the fast food episode. Zooble goes to cheer her up, and Ragatha is willing to feel the constant pain of glitching to comfort Pomni. And so the series ends with everyone damaged, but in a better situation, and Kane's alive. So cutting back, and Kane was literally banished to the void. So Kane basically is in the recycling bin of a computer. He's with a bubble, but for some reason they don't talk in this. I don't know why. So Kane starts reflecting, and it's a little confusing, but we get a both present tense and flashback to when he created the circus. So present, he's going to his own exit door, while also in the past, he's creating these little geometric shapes, similar to the geometric shapes he created as an orb and keeps in his office. Doing some computer things to break through the invisible walls, so he can get to the brain scans. And he takes these sparks, like Mike Dobby here, and places them in the circus. Mike Dobby is Scratch's real name, and that's why this is the Scratch Dog. In the present, he makes it to his own exit door, Blue Street Cafe free Wi-Fi, and he uses the Wi-Fi to connect to the internet to look up names that will be important at the end of the episode. After finding out more about them, he starts realizing he done screwed up. But he glitches and starts thinking, no he didn't, they did. So Kane decides to remove the blue orb, which is making him crazy. Presumably we can just assume that Bubbles' blue orb theory is right, because again we don't see them this episode, and Kane will miss them. Kane makes it back to the circus, still not sure if he should be, but the moon assures him that it will take some time.
I still love you.
Never programmed you to say you loved me.
I know.
So at least he waits until the morning to fix everyone's glitches. Ginger and Zooble are ready to square up. But Kane's finally starting to realize he hurt everyone, and Willy Wonka wants to give the factory to Charlie, as in he's giving the circus to the players. It'll take them a lot of time to fully forgive Kane, but at least he can also show them who they are. They aren't actually the voice actors playing their real life selves, but they are real people. Pomni narrates.
Pomni, Abigail Brooks.
They still work and abandon dive, but at least they have friends who dress up like Ghost and Mario together.
Ragatha, Susie J. Ackerman.
They still a horse girl with Daisy Bell, working at real estate, and they got away from their mom with plenty of friends.
Gangle, Zoe Raghavan.
On their Twitter account, they quit their draining job to get a job in design and even have a webcomic. Also, this is old Twitter. And they mention a recovery in the hospital, so Zoe was actually hit by a truck.
Zooble, Riley Versellis.
They eventually settled in the bartending at the Triangle Bar because Zooble's head, and it's a happening free-spirited place, just like my Discord server.
Kinger, Grant Best.
He's still in tech with his wife Destiny, who's Queenie, and they have 2 daughters that have a Facebook account, who are named Ann and Sam.
Jax, Leroy Mateo.
I mean, that's a hell of a name. I guess I was just kind of assuming his real name would have been Jack. And apparently, along with Seymour, it's Gooseworks' favorite names. After a few months of being on house, Leroy eventually moved in with a friend. Now they're a delivery person and goes clubbing at the Triangle. I like to assume one of these is Kaufmo and one of these is Ribbit. Kane takes his hat off at Leroy because he truly enjoyed being around Jax, and he finally understands what abstraction is, instead of assuming it was a choice to abandon him. Kane isn't as powerful as he used to be without the blue orb, but all the worlds he did create are open, and Abigail decides to actually embrace being Pomni because all their real-life selves are out there and they're their own people. So it's time to make this place their own, along with Jax. So they paint a mural to all the abstracted. That's nice. Kinda hilarious oversight, but we're missing 4. So maybe Ice Cream, Kaufmo, Miss Onion, and Clam just kind of abstracted immediately going into the circus. They have Dungeons and Dragons night. Gangle shows Kane a few tricks of how to draw. Softball again, with some cute orange and blue uniforms. Despite the posters, they didn't bring back the evil big tops. Ragatha was adopted by the Glowing Queen. Though it's weird that Gummy Goo, Lou, and Orbs Man doesn't join the circus. Because we do see the Glowing Queen and the worlds are connected, they could come back. It's just weird we didn't see it in the episode. Zooble Pepsi and Hungry Jack's, which is a reference to Hungry Jack, which is Australian Burger King. Everyone can now visit the abstracted in an aquarium, with Kinger reading to Queenie. It appears the 3 Musketeers have reunited. Zooble opens her own bar. She's got vodka and triple sec, which is orange. At the dinner table, Ragatha's got egg rolls and shrimp, Kane's got turkey, Gangle's got a burger and fries, Zooble got sushi, Kinger's got mashed potatoes, and Pomni's got a different kind of fish. As a tribute to episode 1, now Pomni is confidently smiling as we zoom out and out and out. Last name before the credits, Pomni smiles at the camera, referencing Jax breaking the 4th wall, as well as Super Mario 64. So Glitch has come full circle. Then credits play over a different part of the outro. They go back to the lake and swim, as well as go fishing. Bubbles and Queenie get a credit despite not being in the episode because this is for the last act. Whoops. Kinger's fishing lure is ghostly. They play chef. Aw, no, they got Zach. Aw. Kane's making cookies for Bubbles, Zooble, Gangle, and Ghostly, as well as a bee. Then they go cave diving. It's weird that Ghostly appeared more in the series finale than Gummy Goo, right? Gangle, Zooble, and Ragatha become the Hex Girls, and shame on them for not making this a full episode. Pomni tries to learn to play the keyboard because of Jax, but don't worry, Ragatha can teach you. It's weird that we see an image of her room on merchandise, yet we never saw it in the series, but we saw Ribbit's room. Then they all celebrate Christmas, and of course Kinger is Santa. Then they have another D&D night. This time they're gonna live-action roleplay, which is what LARP really means, and if you use it instead of poser, you're a loser. We got Kane the Bard, Kinger the Priest, Pomni the Mage, Zooble the Warrior, and Ragatha the Barbarian. The classes are sort of different, but the Digital Circus cast did play D&D once. And yes, officially, Zooble and Gangle had sex. Also, all the eyes on the paintings are gone. That could be for privacy or just more evidence that Kane is giving them autonomy and no longer spying on everyone. And finally, they lock up the blue orb, which may or may not be Bubbles. In a post-credit scene, we see the live-action circus crew all coming together on a bus stop, unknowing that digital copies of them became family. And these two are having sex. It is a real park bench in St. Louis, and with Lackadaisy, they're really into Missouri. This episode's really good. The animation and emotions as great as always. All the performances in the episode are just phenomenal, and apparently the actors did cry while delivering them. It's a good send-off that answers a lot of questions, not all of them, but it also adds more context to the previous episodes. It's interesting seeing Kane realize he made his mistakes, and honestly, if I'm gonna be that guy, they probably could have just ended it at his reveal and then have episode 10 be about him coming back and maybe flashbacks to all the previous abstracted, but I don't know. I'm actually fine with how they dealt with him. So no, the series didn't get the Disney ending where they got everything they wanted. They got the Pixar ending where they got what they needed. They're all still in the circus, but now in a much better situation, free to do what they want. Jax could have definitely prevented a lot of this if she just talked, but that's just life. There's tons of people like Jax in the world, ironically wearing more of a mask than Gangle does, running away from his problems, sinking deeper into the hole, ultimately becoming a force of self-destruction because they refuse just to talk to people. Jax is a tragic character because they never allowed themselves to be the person they wanted to be and just ran away from it. I'll give the finale a 9 out of 10, and I'll give the series overall a 9.5. Unironically, The Amazing Digital Circus is an amazing series. Sure, it's not perfect, and they definitely could have had more episodes and given more of a spotlight to Ragatha. But as is, I'm really glad we went on this adventure together, because the series is great. Honestly, I would compare Digital Circus to Gravity Falls, because both were made by first-time creators who weren't really expecting the series to take off, just for it to become a decade and generational defining series. Taking the internet by storm, completely overwhelming the creators, so they decided to end the series at the height of its popularity on their own terms rather than it just continuing on forever and getting stale. Digital Circus is the most successful independent internet series of all time, bringing fans from all over the world from different walks of life together for their shared love of a series about a bunch of people stuck in a computer game. And that's beautiful, it's able to connect to so many different people. Definitively proving that anyone's weird ideas can be successful and free to watch online with TV quality animation. I mean, DC literally has an official Fortnite crossover.
I have to give an absolute W to Gooseworks that an indie animation got into Fortnite.com before One Piece.
So thank you Gooseworks for creating such a lovely show. Thank you Glitch Productions for helping produce this show. Thank you for watching. I'm very grateful to have had you around, but make sure to share it around with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new. Hyping on mobile is also very appreciated.
Can everyone say thick in the chat? Because why did they make Pomni's hips like that? I saw